Imagine the world in 2500 BCE. To build a successful society, the standard blueprint involved conquering neighbors, enslaving captives, and forcing them to build massive stone monuments for a god-king. That was the reality in Egypt and Mesopotamia. But thousands of miles to the east, another society operated on a different set of rules. Spanning 1.2 million square kilometers across modern-day India and Pakistan, the Indus Valley Civilization eclipsed both of its contemporaries combined. Yet, after a century of digging through its ruins, archaeologists have found no royal tombs, no palaces, and no weapons of war. Instead of hoarding wealth for monuments, the people of the Indus Valley directed their resources toward public sanitation and civic engineering. They laid out their cities on precise mathematical grids and baked millions of bricks to identical, standardized dimensions. While kings in other lands lacked basic drainage, Indus residents lived in multi-story homes with private flush toilets connected to sophisticated, closed sewer systems. Throughout the excavated ruins, the size of housing plots remains consistent. The landscape lacks the massive mansions and desperate slums defining most other ancient cities. Maintaining strict standardization across millions of square kilometers usually requires a central authority and a standing army to enforce the rules. In the Indus Valley, the barracks are missing. The evidence points to a decentralized Bronze Age corporate superpower run by merchant guilds. This merchant empire was built on a geographical foundation. By mastering the monsoon cycles around the Sindhu River, early settlers produced a massive surplus of wheat and barley. That surplus allowed them to build a continental supply chain. They extracted deep blue lapis lazuli from the Afghan mountains and bright red carnelian stones from the coast of Gujarat. To move heavy materials across steep terrain, nomadic herders strapped rocks to mountain goats, descending into the valleys to trade their cargo for river crops. These raw materials flowed into megacities like Harappa, where urban artisans processed them into luxury beads, polishing them to a standard that was celebrated across the ancient world. Once finished, the goods were loaded onto ships. Sailors used the seasonal monsoon winds to cross the ocean, exporting Indian jewelry, cotton, and sesame oil directly to the markets of Mesopotamia. The massive brick structures towering over the cities served as public granaries and municipal guild halls, designed to warehouse and process a global monopoly of exports. Managing a complex logistics network required precise records. While the geometric Indus script remains unread, these tablets functioned as ancient barcodes. Merchant guilds used these carved stones to stamp clay seals onto cargo. These markings verified the origin of goods and confirmed taxes were paid. Practicality even extended into their artwork. The circular emblem on the forehead of this famous bust represents an amulet, a protective talisman made of lapis and steatite, worn by traders to ward off bad luck during dangerous ocean voyages. Similarly, the Pashupati seal depicts a figure in a meditative pose surrounded by wild animals. Rather than a king, some scholars propose this represents a shraman, a neutral mediator tasked with resolving disputes between rival merchant guilds to ensure the market remained stable. Every major artifact found in these cities served a utilitarian purpose, guaranteeing safe travel, ensuring fair taxation, and maintaining a peaceful trade network. For decades, colonial narratives claimed that invading warriors destroyed this peaceful society. Modern genetic evidence has put that myth to rest. The people of the Indus Valley were gone long before any outside conflict arrived. The decline began around 1900 BCE, driven by shifting monsoon patterns. As the climate changed, the rivers that supported their agriculture simply dried up. This environmental crisis coincided with a geopolitical shift in Mesopotamia that caused the global demand for Indian luxury goods to plummet. Without water to grow food or buyers to purchase their exports, the manufacturing megacities essentially went bankrupt. The system collapsed, and the population dispersed eastward into the rural plains. The civilization's physical cities vanished, but its daily habits survived. Cooking in clay pots, eating from round thalis, and stacking arms with bangles. These traditions moved with the people, becoming the bedrock of modern Indian culture. This merchant-driven society also established a unique cultural requirement. In a world where monopoly usually led to bloodshed, these traders relied on a mediator class to maintain peace as a business necessity. This centuries-long commitment to nonviolent negotiation created the cultural soil that eventually produced the formal philosophy of ahimsa. The ruins of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro stand as proof that humanity can build the world's most advanced societies through equality and commerce, rather than the power of a sword.